What's up, YouTube? It's Rohan here. How's it going? Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Today, last episode I said maybe we get into some more technical stuff today. Yeah, we're going to be building like crazy again. But I think this project is absolutely awesome. I've built the entire thing in a test world. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I've got all of my supplies laid out here. It is a lot. This is a big build we're going to get into. We're going to do things a little differently this time. I think it's going to be kind of cool. I've made a schematic of this because this is a little bit more complicated than any of the builds that we've done, and it's a little bit bigger than all of the builds already. And it's my first time doing anything substantial following the massive Minecraft trend of building on diagonals. Yes, we're going to build a diagonal-based building right here all the way along the coast. I mean, it's a perfect location for it. It's huge. It's awesome. It's going to be great fun. And I wanted to try something even different with the building. And I'm going to be showing you guys a layer by layer time lapse. So I've got the whole thing in a schematic. Otherwise, building like this really wouldn't work very well. And I'm going to be looking at that and using that to build layer by layer all the way bottom to top. And I think it could make for a really cool time lapse. I hope you guys all agree. Let's get going. Well, isn't that just lovely? I'm so happy with this build. I've done, since the time lapse, since it ended, I've done a little bit. I've added this path here, and I've added some of the greenery I intended to add. All in survival. I didn't design that out. I thought I would do that organically to kind of match the surrounding landscape. My favorite view of this build, my absolute favorite view, we're going to have to do something to make this view available, is here from the ocean. Oh, I love it. I think that little brick balcony kind of reminds me of like an Italian restaurant, like a pizzeria that you would be sitting on the balcony, eating pizza, overlooking the ocean. I think this build is amazing. The interior isn't completely finished. You can head over there and take a quick peek. The kitchen, I've got the floor and the space laid out and just lit up so I don't have mobs in here, but it's not done. The dining area for the guests is all done. including the balcony area. Little hanging plants in a few places. The rooms are all done in here. They're nothing too fancy. I mean, some of them nicer than others. This is one of the nicer ones in the inn. All a little bit different than each other because unlike, modern hotels, I don't feel like the rooms are all standardized, but here's a more generic style. And then downstairs we've got the peasant rooms, the cheap rooms for the poor folk of the era. We don't use the dark oak doors, and there's no carpet in here, and a little bit plain. I mean, they still get closets. They can't complain too much, but not too fancy. Yeah, that's what we got. And this leads us back to our kitchen. Same thing on the other side. We have one fancy room. Actually, it's almost like a maze in here. Let's run over there. Boom. We get the double bed, the purple, the color of royalty. A little within the room sitting area, and they can look out the window here. And then upstairs they even get a little reading space, like an extra little loft in here. I know it's a ladder. It's Minecraft, okay? I'm a little bit limited on the space for putting staircases in this. I can't put like a real tight spiral staircase for them. So they get a ladder. They get a sitting room, so they shouldn't complain too much. But yeah, that's what we got going so far. Now, I think we're going to make a bit of a turn here. Oh, shoot. Which door leads out? I think it's this one. Yes. We're going to head off, and I keep running out of blue dye. It's driving me nuts. And this flower right here, this cornflower, is a much better source of blue dye than lapis. So I'm going to go over. I found a flower forest biome. I'm going to figure out exactly where all of the cornflowers grow, and I'm going to build a flower farm specifically for cornflowers. And I think I'm also going to do one for lily of the valley for white dye. And you might be thinking, hey, you could just turn bone meal into white dye. Why use the bone meal for the flowers? Well, I went and did a little bit of testing behind the scenes, and I discovered that if you take 9 stacks of bone meal and you make a farm that just gets lily of the valleys, you'll about double the amount of dye you can get from it. So bone meal used to get lily of the valleys is a much better investment than just turning the bone meal itself into white dye. It does mean I have to build something, but I think it'll be fun. I could do one larger one that gets me a whole bunch of flowers, but I figure odds are I'm going to use certain dyes a lot more than others, as you can tell by the use of white concrete and gray concrete and blue around here. Those tend to be the colors I use more of. So we're going to go make a couple of flower forest farms for those and test them out, run them, see how much dye we can get. We are over here in our flower forest biome. We've marked out the location of our first farm. It's from this corner to that corner with the lantern there. Not a very big one. Doesn't need to be. We're going to use bone meal like crazy in a small area, and it's going to produce a ton of flowers. We need to prep the area here. I've got a design already. It shouldn't take too long to build, and then we can leave this one running while we build the next one. The Lily of the Valley one is going to be somewhere right around here. I can't remember exactly. And then we've got one more for tulips that I believe is going to be right around here where the tulips are. Just so we can get all the different kinds of flowers and then control which ones we want to get. Flower farm numero uno is done. Total side note, complete side note, this is why you have a well-stocked ender chest, because I came here with nothing. I didn't bring any supplies, but my ender chest has everything I need in it. These are all the shulker boxes I've taken out and I've used. This is my adventure box. We got some redstone, rails, terracotta, glass, dyes, wood, iron, all of the things I would need for most projects. Keep them well stocked, and then whenever I go somewhere, I'm good to go for a project. Anyway, side ramble over. We're going to go down in here. We're going to load in 25 bone meal exactly. And then we're going to turn on the farm. And before I turn on the farm, I need to make sure, for everyone's sake, for their ears, and we actually are going to make a little hopper train to load this thing up with bone meal in the future. But for now, we're just going to do this. And step 2, music and sounds blocks 0. We want to turn that, okay, we'll leave it 1%, just so it might be noticeable in the background. Hopefully it works. And we'll see just how many flowers we get from 25 bone meal. Let's get out there quick because it's going to use it up real fast. And there it goes. Boom. Flowers like crazy. And this is our, oh my goodness, a little bit of visual bizarre. Oh, and I think we're all out of bone meal already. Look at that. 25 bone meal. Gone. How many flowers we got from that tiny little test. All right. And we specifically are checking cornflowers because we just care about the blue. 44, more than a stack. Look at that. A stack plus 15 cornflowers from 25 bone meal. And we're going to get the same thing when we do it with the Lily of the Valleys for the white dye. So you can see the benefit of using bone meal to make flowers rather than turning it straight into dye or even the white dye just on its own. But that is going to make a nice supply of blue dye. And there we go. 3 seemingly randomly sized and randomly placed flower farms. And if you're thinking to yourself, oh, those aren't random, those look very organized to me, you may need to rethink what your definition of organized is. And I think I would like to show you guys why I chose these locations. Well, we're over in my test world now. Would you look at that? And this is a recreation of that flower forest biome. And you can see these are the 3 locations of our farms. And this one I've, made into a farm and tested it. This is pretty much entirely covered in cornflowers and a couple of oxeye daisies. But the reason we chose the 3 locations we did were very precise. This one, you can see we get 4 perfect stripes of each color of tulip. Red, orange, white, and pink. Now, because we're dispensing the bone meal right in the middle, we're going to get mostly orange and white. I can always reposition the dispenser to adjust that a little bit, or just run it a little longer and let myself get an excess of the white and the orange. No harm. Over here, this is the Lily of the Valley farm. Now you can see the lilies are actually mostly towards that side of this farm, and then we transition to some cornflowers, some oxeye daisies, and we actually get a couple of pink flowers as well. I thought about shrinking this farm down, but I think, again, same thing that I would do with that one. I would just move the dispenser with the bone meal over just a little bit over to here to force it to give me primarily the Lily of the Valleys, but I wanted to have the option to choose kind of what colors I would get, or what kind of flowers I would get. I could build a big farm that, stretches the whole length of this thing, and you AFK at it, and you use flying machines to knock off the flowers, which was a great way to do it. Nothing wrong with that, but I find that people tend to use certain flowers in certain colors more than others. So this way, depending on demand, I can always come and supply up. And these are very fast. I don't need to AFK at it. If I go, hey, I need a bunch of Lily of the Valleys, white dye. I come over here, I flick the farm on, I let it run for 2 minutes, and all of a sudden I have 10 stacks of these guys. I mean, you guys already saw how fast they are. So that was the reason for choosing the locations that I did. And I mean, it's a lot of fun mapping out your flower biomes like this. They look really cool. So anyway, let's get back into the actual world. Oh, this guy can't get me. You will forevermore live in this tree. I'll set you free here. After about 10 minutes of operation, I think I have as many flowers as I will ever need. All my tulips, my cornflowers, and my Lily of the Valleys, and all of my inventory completely filled, and a whole bunch more Lily of the Valleys in there that I can't even grab. I'm gonna need more storage. I was just flying back to my nether portal from the flower farm, and I noticed this little guy right down there. Ooh, don't mind if I do. Let's see what kind of goodies we have. Oh, look at that. There's another one. Yes! This is the rarest item in the game. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, come on. Twice in a row, baby. Twice in a row. Ah, no, but we got one. Oh, that's sweet. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that to try to complete the advancement of eat everything that's edible in the game, before I'm just going to hang that on the wall. Well, as you can see, I've been busy improving the flower farm area. I've added this collection and sorting system, so all of the flowers from all of the farms, everything that comes out of them, including the seeds, gets collected into this and just gets sent in this continuous loop around here. We turn all of the seeds that we get, which are totally useless, back into bone meal. We don't gain any bone meal, but it helps us increase the efficiency of the farm, I guess. I think it's time that we make ourselves a little bit of a goals board, tasks board, plans board, I don't know what you want to call it. A little board for me to keep track of the things that I want to do in this world. Like a little checklist. Yeah, like a checklist. Like a Monica from Friends, check, kind of checklist. I think I need something like that in my world so that I can feel good about myself every time I finish a new project. And there we go. We got ourselves a nice little project board here. I got a second one over there. This one is our technical project board. I've got, a few different things I want to do. Large spruce tree farm. I think I'm going to tackle that one early in the next episode. And yeah, those are some of the things I would like to do on the more technical side of the game. As you know, I like to blend the building and the technical. And here are some of the building things I want to do. Ever since I started playing Minecraft, I've always wanted to make a ship, like a really cool looking ship. But I've never succeeded in making one look even half decent. So I want to make a ship, and then after that, I want to make a better ship now that I've built one before. And then a harbor for all the ships, and some other fun stuff here. But yeah, we got a little list going. Anyway, that is all the time I have for this episode this week. Thank you so much for coming along for the ride. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. Until next time, see you later. As you may have noticed in that last clip, the audio quality changed a whole bunch. I just moved up everything into a new office space and with some soundproofing on the walls. And today, my new microphone is supposed to arrive, so hopefully the sound quality just keeps on improving. Anyway, see ya!